Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Marcus and welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'm gonna have a break from what I normally do. We're gonna look at some of the songwriting tips our fellow songwriters wrote and posted over the internet, and we're gonna learn from them. We're gonna journey together. Let's get to it. But before we do that, let me give a brief background on my songwriting journey. I remember the first time I hummed a melody in my head. I was in 6th grade and my brother had this group of friends. There's 5 of them in the group and the first letter of their names became the name of the group. It's BC Man. I can only remember Brian, Alan, Marcus, and Nick. Yes, my brother's also a Marcus. I remember doing my chores in the morning, sweeping the floor, and I heard a melody in my head. Busy man, get busy now. That's the first melody I heard in my head. Fast forward to when I was 21, that was the first time I properly wrote a song. Well, it's not even a song, it's a rap song. The song goes a little something like, set free from the miry clay, trust in Jesus as we obey, He will show us the way. Sounds like a nursery rhyme. Not bad for a first. Shortly after that, I started writing songs. And once I got into songwriting, I basically wrote any kind of song for any kind of genre. Years after that, I released my first single as a rap metal song.
King Kong's dead, I'm holding his head now. Stop pursuing for the battle is the Lord show.
And when I moved to Dubai, I released my first alternative rock album via the radio station Dubai 108.
Then the world's you, throwing the lifeline.
You can't find it on Spotify yet. If you want a copy of the full album, just comment down below and I'll send you the link. I think 10 years after I released my first album, when I got married in 2013, I started songwriting with my wife and we released a praise album called Unqualified Praise. I can remember the first single we wrote, my wife and I. We sang that song, Salvation in Me, when we did a front act for the band Planet Shakers when they had their concert here in 2016. It's a very amazing, unforgettable highlight in my songwriting journey. Now back to our topic. So out of the thousands of articles I've come across in the internet regarding the topic, how to write your first song, there's this article by Bob Kilpatrick that really caught my attention and let you know which ones I agree 100%, 50%, or completely disagree. It's gonna be fun. So take this journey with me if you're an aspiring songwriter like I am. Number 1, say one thing. If you're writing a song about mercy, don't introduce the subject of love. Save that for another song. Stick tightly to your subject. Wrap your words like skin around it. I kinda agree and disagree. Here's why. I agree 100% in keeping one topic, but based on the example he mentioned, love and mercy, these are not completely different topics. It's like the mercy and love of God is really intertwined. What I do agree with is, for example, if you use a topic about love and then introduce a very broad topic about crucifixion, the Holy Trinity, then it kind of dislodges from the original topic. Nowadays, songwriters are so skilled to pull in words and topics and yet keep a soul, essence, or message in the song. Number 2, say it simply. Beginning songwriters can suffer from the misconception that a sophisticated song needs more words. I completely agree with this. Some of the most catchy, easy to recall songs have the simplest and most direct lyrics. Especially in our context, if we write not only for ourselves but for the church, our words should be simple enough for the layman to understand. Think about boy band songs. Boy band songs or pop songs are so simple that they could be labeled as mindlessly written. But it takes a lot of skill to take a complex topic and make it simple for others to easily grasp. There are songs that I've shelved because I still feel like I could trim some of the edges to make the song as simple and as direct as possible. Number 3, no explanation needed. If your lyric needs explaining, it's not a good lyric, period. I 100% agree with this. Imagine we can't go around telling people, oh, this is the meaning of the line of this song. Oh, that's not how I meant the song to be. That's a pretty hard predicament. I remember this song by Paul McCartney, Martha My Dear, The song stands for itself. But did you know that the song is about his dog? And this is where my wife and I kind of have a healthy discussion, a healthy debate. When I find a line in a song that could be so controversial, it just makes me wonder, why put it there? Why include it in a song? If it challenges theological standpoints, then save that line for a debate, not a song. In my next episode, I'm gonna dive deep into this topic. So if you want to know what song that is, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Number 4, make your lyrics speakable. Some songs sound like Yoda wrote them. To the Lord I am listening. Our voices now we raise. While you are writing the lyric, speak it to make sure it lays well. Now, this is a very technical part of songwriting. We touched base on this with one of the songs I wish I wrote. I'm including that link in the description. It's called Desperate by Citipointe. If you remember, I pointed out if you sing the word desperate and put the emphasis desperate, kind of changes the mood of the song. So the idea is to sing the song that lays perfectly well even while you're speaking it. Number 5, every song needs an audience. Try to determine as soon in the songwriting process who the audience is for the song. Yes, I do agree. On the onset, we should determine whether the song we're writing is for God, or if it's a personal song, or if it's a song that we can envision or imagine to be sung in church. There are personal songs that we can still sing in church, and there are personal songs that are too personal that we could only sing in our quiet moments with God. Number 6, rewrite. Some people are loath to rewrite because they say that God gave them the song and therefore it is not to be changed. I agree with this 100% because I remember being in that place in my songwriting journey before. I felt like if God gave me the song, then nobody should touch it, nobody should tweak it. It should be as is. But then I realized if God gave me the song, then God can rewrite it. If I present it to people, then if God speaks to them and says, let's change this part, then that's God's way of saying, we're in a community, we can collaborate, and it's God's way of saying, okay, let me do some refining, because at the end of the day, we're just vessels. If it is God's song, then we cannot copyright that song. I think the perfect example is in one of my videos when I wished I wrote the song How Great Is Our God by Chris Tomlin. So he presented the song to a producer and the producer said, this song is incomplete. And it was like, what? How dare he say that? So it's the same thing now in my journey. I'm starting to really collaborate and co-write with people, especially with my wife. And mind you, I can honestly tell you, when I think the draft of the song I wrote is good, I present it to my wife and it becomes a better song. So I highly suggest to have someone you co-write with, or at least someone you could present your song and have a critic and have a good criticism. Most likely if it's your family, then it's always a yes. But if you try and let someone have a look at your song, someone who you don't necessarily agree with, then I think that's an avenue for that song to grow. Number 7, your hook is your title. When people refer to your song, they are going to describe it by the most obvious, memorable line from it. I don't necessarily agree with this because some of the songs, their hook is on the intro riff of a guitar or the intro riff from a bass line. So maybe I need to explore more on this. If you have something to share about this, let me know in the comments below. Let's learn together. So that's it for me. I'm sure there are other hundreds and thousands of songwriting tips and tricks, but 7 I think is a good number for this episode. And if you think you've learned from this, please do subscribe so we can learn together in our songwriting journey. That's it for now. See you in the next episode. Peace.